can we create a discipline for the study of decision-making which is stronger because it incorporates the insights of all the many different areas which have tried to understand how people make decisions? That, I think, is the core mission of neuroeconomics.
To me, the field of neuroeconomics is the field in which economists who've traditionally been interested only in choice expand the range of things they think about to include certain physical acts. So it's really an imaginative effort to expand the range of what you can model as an economist. One can begin modeling things that traditionally weren't thought about, and the methods are often a mix of psychology and economics and entirely new insights.
Economists have been taking kind of the aerial view. How is it that large groups of people make global choices? Psychologists are interested more in the mental events that guide us as we face problems as individuals, how we reconcile our hopes and our desires, complex stuff like that. Neurobiologists, a third group in the last 2 decades, have begun to ask, what's the neural hardware? How is it that neurons and parts of the brain interact to produce behaviors that we think of as decision-making? Now, surprisingly, these 3 fields have had very little contact. Each of them asks questions about how we make decisions, but they ask them in very different and unrelated ways. Over the course of the last 10 years, a few groups of scholars at just a few institutions around the world have begun to try and knit together these 3 different disciplines. It was by knitting together our disciplines that we'd be able to gain a new perspective and sort of solve a problem that had been nagging at each of us basically for our entire academic careers.
Gradually, you end up with a form of economics, neuroscience, and psychology that is integrative. Naturally, it's a massively interdisciplinary effort. So it's just a fascinating thing for me to contemplate these areas, and the people at NYU, it's really second to none. It's really been a magnificent place just to explore method. Academics are methodologists. We all have in mind some way of learning, not just what the truth is. And in fact, as I've aged, I've become less and less comfortable with any particular truths, more and more comfortable with the idea that the job is to find methods for eliciting truth, not for naming it. And neuroeconomics methodologically needs approaches that accept overwhelming complexity.
When we look at neuroeconomics at NYU, we're looking at 12 scholars in 3 disciplines, each headed by world leaders in their fields, nestled across 3 great academic departments. And the cross-disciplinary interaction means that our courses are different, our students are differently educated, the discourse we have is different, and that makes neuroeconomics so unique here at NYU.
In grandiose moments, I think that we are in fact developing methods for uniting the social and the natural sciences, and that this is something that 20 years from now will be realized that the barriers between them were somewhat artificial. And the question has been for a long time, when and how will they come down? And right now, if I was to place a bet, I would say NYU will be in the lead as these barriers fall.